Hi, I'm Tani of TaniFalloon.com, and it's great to be with you again today. Well, it was 107 degrees Fahrenheit, or around 42 degrees centigrade here today. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave in LA, and inside my house it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 35 degrees centigrade. Thankfully, I have this little studio I'm in right now, and I had separate air conditioning, but we were changing out the air conditioning ducts, and they needed to turn off the air conditioning. And God bless those boys that were in the roof today, because it was mighty hot. And we're renovating our kitchen, and as we open up the walls and the ceilings, we're finding all sorts of things stuffed back, that they've just sort of gone over, pushed aside, pushed lights up into the ceiling, old wiring that's still alive. You know, it could potentially cause a fire, old pipes that are rusting, all sorts of things that have just been shoved away and not cleaned up as they've done other pieces of renovation, I guess, over the years, because it's an older house. And I find this analogy fascinating. As I went into the kitchen today, I went, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff that's not functional. It's just been stuffed down and is causing issues. It's taking up space. And that's often what I find when I'm working with clients. They'll come in with a particular issue around their relationship, or something going on with their body, or feeling disconnected and not sure, what their purpose is, knowing that their life's not going the way they want it to, and particularly in relationships. And usually when we start uncovering what's underneath that, you find the layers of things that have been stuffed down, stuff that's been you've put away, hidden away, think that it's not important, but actually it's taking up space, and it's actually potentially, in terms of the kitchen, some of the things we've found are actually potentially dangerous, including asbestos around the air conditioning ducts, which is why we had them done today. So what happens when we start pushing down and putting things aside, they create some resistance. It's usually a resistance in our body. We stuff it down into parts of ourselves. And what we often develop is this protective layer that holds all these things down. And again and again and again, when I talk to clients, and particularly when I'm doing sort of introductory talks with them and seeing what's going on with them, it's this resistance voice that comes up and says, I'm not sure that I want to go there. I'm not sure that I want to look at that. I'm not sure that I want to uncover what's going on there, because they're so in their head and it feels too vulnerable, or you have to let go of control, or whatever it might be, to go down and listen what's hidden deeply in there. But like my kitchen, if we don't go in and clean stuff up, it can cause potential problems. So, as I often suggest to my clients I work with, people I talk to, what's the risk you run of not discovering what's underlying? What's the risk you run of letting that resistance or protective voice stay in control? So what if you had a day, half an hour, where you looked at that resistance, or observe your resistance, and observe where you're resisting receiving, where you're resisting maybe getting some feedback from work or from someone in your relationship, where you're resisting being loved, where you're resisting connecting to someone at work or someone you know, where you're resisting vulnerability, being vulnerable, or resisting speaking up and saying something that you need to share or speak up, or even and resisting really being and showing your true self. So I'm going to leave that with you today, is where am I holding myself down and keeping those things stuffed, like my kitchen, back, behind, hidden, that are holding me back? I look forward to hearing from you as always. I love the comments I get, and I look forward to being in touch next week. Take much care. Bye-bye.